Hey everybody, Shoebox Legends, thanks for joining me today. This video is going to be sort of an assemble your own blaster, so to speak. And basically what I did is I went out on Sportlots, found a seller that had a variety of cards that all have a particular theme that I was interested in, and loaded up and spent exactly, or just about $20 on the nose. Total actually came to $20.25. And the subject of this Assemble a Blaster is Topps Sapphire. So this is a set that I have been intrigued by since its inception as a lover of all cards shiny and a lover of Topps Chrome Atomic refractors, which is basically the same technology as the Sapphire cards. I really adore these. They seem to have been really popular with collectors in the baseball realm. And of course, recently, Topps has released a Sapphire set in the soccer realm, a Champions League set, which has been very well received as well, and prices on that are just astronomical at this point. So I did feature a couple of those soccer cards back in episode 21, and I've touched on maybe one or two baseball cards to date, but let's look at what I picked up in this self-made blaster. So the first card that I noticed is from the first few cards, I should say, are from the 2016 release. And the first I actually picked up 3 copies of, and that is Nelson Cruz, the underrated Nelson Cruz. The thing about this 2016 set and the following year set, the 2017 release, those first 2 releases were not available in pack or box format. So I believe Topps released a limited number, I think it's 250 complete factory sets of Sapphire, and you basically had to win a lottery and be one of the folks who was fortunate enough to have the opportunity to pony up for an entire factory set, and it was that or nothing. So I'm finding that because of that, the 2016 and 17 releases are getting a little bit harder to come by, and was happy to scoop these up. So next up, the rest of these are just going to be singles. Nelson Cruz was the only subject that I found 3 copies of at the price that I was happy with. And for the record, those Nelson Cruzes were $1.25 a piece, $3.75 for 3. Also for $1.25, in fact, these next few cards were all $1.25. We have Craig Kimbrell, longtime closer, and of course, member of my Boston Red Sox, won a World Series with Boston. Is currently sitting just below 350 career saves. We'll see if he's able to continue his career. Some people think he's maybe on the borderline for Hall of Fame induction. We'll see. But either way, nice to have that card. And as with so many of these, I didn't do this on purpose, but you'll see as we get through the video that it just so happens that a lot of the cards I chose happen to feature photographs or teams that look particularly good on the blue Sapphire cards. So that's a happy coincidence. Next up, and you'll see a pattern here, all of these guys are sort of on the bubble, Hall of Very Good type players. I don't have Mike Trouts in this order, or Ronald Acuna or anything like that. I would have never been able to do that for 20 bucks. But here's another guy who falls into that next tier and has a pretty large following, I know, and in terms of at least regionally, Ryan Howard. So Rookie of the Year, MVP, and guy who was instrumental in bringing a World Series to Philadelphia, fan favorite, and happily scooped that one up for my small Sapphire collection as well. And these, I don't need to cover it here. You can kind of get a sense in the background, but these just look incredible. If you haven't seen these in hand, or you're not familiar with this brand, I would highly suggest even just going out and picking up a common of somebody from your team for, a quarter or 50 cents on Sportlots, just to get a look at how these catch the light in person. Next up, we have Charlie Blackmon, one of the premier leadoff hitters, at least at times. He's a leadoff hitter in the game for the last few years. He's over 1,300 career hits already, and he hits for a very good average. He's an above 300 career hitter, currently at 304 heading into this season, and has some power as well. So, obviously some of that can be attributed to playing in Coors Field for the Rockies, but I don't think that's the only source of his power. And I'm curious to see how he responds this upcoming year after the trade of Nolan Arenado to the Cardinals. So we'll see how he performs in Colorado. That was $1.25 as well. I'm really quite surprised I was able to find these for this price. Next up, also $1.25, John Lester. So John hasn't won any major awards, I don't think, but a very reliable pitcher. He's on the verge of 300 career wins, will likely hit that this coming season, barring, a major slump or injury. And of course, won a World Series with my hometown Boston Red Sox as well. And I have to say, the Cubby Blue in particular looks just awesome with the Sapphire treatment. Really, really nice card there. Next up, we have Joey Gallo, slugger for the Texas Rangers. So I think early on in this guy's career, he sort of had a stigma, at least in my mind, as just a guy who could club homers but couldn't do much else. He certainly can club homers. This guy's only played 6 seasons of Major League Baseball so far. Only 2 of those have been full seasons with, 140 games plus or even 100 games plus. The other 4 were shortened due to either, him breaking into the league or injury or COVID last year. Despite all that, he's already got 120 career home runs. And in the last couple of years, he has become an all-star and a Gold Glove winner as well. So sort of disproving his critics at least a little bit in the terms of being able to do some more things on the diamond that don't involve smashing dingers, so to speak. Next up, we have Marcus Stroman. Like the last few cards, this one was $1.25, also from the inaugural 2016 set. Grabbed this because this guy had some awful dominating seasons for some not so good Blue Jays teams. I got to see him pitch quite a bit, being a Red Sox fan and watching a lot of AL East action. Dealt with some issues. He didn't play, obviously, last year at all, and he's with the Mets now, so it's a bit of an unknown how he'll bounce back going forward, but I thought this was worth picking up for my shiny baseball card binder for sure. Next up, we have one that'll be maybe a little bit controversial. Carlos Beltran. First of all, he's depicted, unfortunately, with the Yankees here. Just can't help it. That's who he played with in 2016. And then also, obviously, he seemed to be maybe on the track for Cooperstown before his reputation took some damage due to his affiliation with the Astros and everything that went on down there. I'll save that type of discussion for another video or outside the realm of YouTube, but suffice it to say, he was a very good player for a long time, and I thought it was a good opportunity. Picking up his debut Sapphire card for $1.25 seemed pretty good. Next up, and the last of the 2016s, we have Chris Davis. So sort of the Joey Gallo ilk in that, he is known for smashing taters and not much else. He's kind of the guy I think of when I think of the 2 true outcomes mode of baseball, strikeout and home run, that we've kind of slid into. But you know what? He's a beast at the plate. He gets on incredible tears. There was a stretch there for 3 straight seasons where he hit 40 plus home runs like it was no big deal. But I will say in the last couple of years, he's struggled to stay above the Mendoza line with respect to his batting average. So probably the reason why I was able to get this one as cheaply as I was at $1.25. But you know what? Even if it does nothing more than remind me of his 40 plus home run seasons, it's a cool pickup for that reason alone. And now we close things out with 3 from the 2017 set, which again, these were also released as a factory set with only 250 copies each. We have Trevor Story leading it off here, one of the premier offensive shortstops in baseball. I would put my favorite player, Xander Bogaerts, right there alongside him, but Trevor gets a lot of attention for being one of the best offensive players at his position, and this is a pretty nice, somewhat early career card of him. I like the landscape layout, and this was the most expensive card in the lot, believe it or not. I actually paid $3 for this one, whereas everything else you've seen so far was $1.25. And then to close it out, we have a pair here. Both the league leaders card here for batting average for 2016 for the NL, DJ LeMahieu, as well as DJ's base card from the 2017 release. I think these were neat just because he intrigues me as, he's an incredible contact hitter, hits for very high average, and I like the fact that he has won a batting title in both the NL and the AL now, which is kind of neat. Piece of barroom trivia. I'm sure most of you probably knew that already. I'm not telling you anything too groundbreaking here, but he did win a batting title in the National League in 2016 with the Rockies, and then, of course, was last year's American League batting champion during the COVID-shortened 2020 season with the New York Yankees. So that is a wrap. Everything you just looked at there, which was a total of 14 Sapphires from those first two releases, as I said, came to a grand total of $20.25. And I am absolutely confident when I say that I will enjoy these 14 cards much more than anything I would have pulled out of a retail blaster had I even been able to find one. So that's it. We'll call it here for today. Thanks for sticking with me past the 10-minute mark if you made it to the end. Would love to hear any thoughts you have on the Sapphire brand in the comments. And I will be back soon with more sports card content. Take care.